Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We are back with another track guide here, and this time we are at the world famous Spa-Francorchamps. And you might have noticed, but we are in an absolute wagon. We are in the BMW M8 GT. I haven't seen this car used too much in LFM. This week it should really come to its own though. The car struggles in traction, meaning that the bus stop and turn 1 are not the strong points, but once we're past that, once we get to the part where we need front downforce, this car is going to fly, because this car has got the front downforce over that one car, sometimes to its own fault. You can also brake pretty hard in this car. It's one of the only cars I think where you can hit 100% brake pressure and not lock the tires. Let's see how it looks like when we start the lap. See, turn 1 is quite a struggle sometimes, with the traction down. Second gear, just to get the power down, we have a lot of torque in the car, so upshifting before you accelerate from the traction zone can be really nice in this car. On Rouge, you'll start to see that sometimes you've got too much front downforce for its own good, and it can be quite twitchy if you're not running a right setup there with the springs or fleckers. Running up to Lacombe is where the car really gets into its own. There's so much front downforce, we can carry so much speed here. Inside, speed up. You see that the front is not nearly as limited as the rear. On the exit here. And we get to a corner like Pujon, where the speed you can carry compared to the other cars is out of this world. And when we stop relying on the tires so much, a couple laps in, when the grip drops off, this difference will be only bigger and bigger. Speed up high here as well. A good exit from Stellano. Easy path here. It will become a bit more tricky once the tires wear out a bit. I'm going to run up to the bus stop, and the bus stop again will be quite tricky, but you will see this is one of the only cars where you can really slam the brakes without locking the tires. Second gear again before the exit. Try to get a bit of traction. That's the lap in the BMW on Spa. Let's have a look like how this looks from the outside and what to pay attention to. As you can see, I've moved my webcam up slightly, so now I can show you guys the inputs here on the bottom left. We're going to be starting the lap here, and you're going to see turn 1, bring it over to the left, and these markers here on the left side are really far away, and they're hard to see because they're behind the wall. Sitting in the car here. Behind the wall here, and they're not at all where you're going to be looking at, which is the apex, and not too far out of peripheral vision for me. So what I use here is this marker on the road, this piece of rubber. It's always the same. It's going to be hard to see whenever there's a car in front of you, but whenever you're alone you can use this marker, and I brake just before this marker. Get the car over, get it to first gear, and we get it to first gear to get the rotation into the apex. But then once we're at the apex, once we have the rotation in the car, I switch to second gear because the traction of this car is quite low. Second gear on exit. Try to carry the speed out of here. We're going to run up to a Rouge, and as I said, Rouge is a test of how good your car setup is, and you need to make sure that it doesn't bottom out anywhere, it doesn't roll over too much. There's a lot of things here because the compression is just so big that you need to watch out for, and the rear or the front can snap going up a Rouge. It's going to cause you tire wear, or it can even cause you to crash. The setup that I'm running now, I'll post on the Discord for my subscribers on Twitch. So if you want to not build your own setup, if you want to use this setup, It will be on the Discord. Also, if you want to check me out on Twitch, it will be the same username as I've got here on YouTube. I stream there most weeks. I think this week, because of VLMS, I won't stream too much. We got the virtual Le Mans race here on Saturday. Regularly, I stream there like a couple days a week. Anyways, running up to Rouge. Want to keep the car on the inside curb here. Try to open up the right-hander as much as possible of radio. And you'll see here the car will be mostly rear limited, meaning that if we bottom out too much or we turn too much, the rear will step out before the front and you'll be in problems. Be in big trouble. Keep it smooth there, also when the tires start to wear down. Then we get to the point where this car is really strong. The whole second sector, where you need that front downforce to keep the speed going. I try to brake right around where the curb starts, maybe a tiny bit after. And bring the car over to the right side. And use all of this curb on the inside here. You can run all the way over it without getting a penalty. I don't know exactly where the cut track is, but as you can see, I'm running inside the white lines here. And it won't give me a penalty for that. Use as much as the inside as you can, and the same on the left side here. Run 2 tires over the left side. You can even do it a bit more than I did in this lap. And the right-hander, this one's tricky. You need to be able to lift on the corner entry. So right when you kind of start to turn in, you want to lift. If you don't do this lift here, the car is going to understeer a lot throughout the corner. Bring it over to the exit. The cell's tricky, down 2 gears. Slowly go towards the inside. And then before going to the power, I go to 3rd gear again to get a tiny bit more traction and make use of that torque of the car. The car has a lot of torque. We get no name, dab on the brakes, wait for the car to get pointed to the inside and power it out. Go on, you can either take the curb on the right here or not. If you take the curb, the car can be a bit more twitchy. You do get a bit more entry tractor to use and carry a tiny bit more speed into the corner, but you can get a bit of a snap when the weight balance of the car changes when you go off the curb. So it's a bit easier to stay off it. If you go on it, it's a bit more risky, but there are payoffs to it. Car to the inside, 4th gear, and really like slam the throttle here, the car will keep going like a train if you got it dialed in. Brake just before the curb here, down 2 gears to 3rd, and try to, in the middle of the corner, have low inputs, maybe even no inputs. But keep the car balanced, keep it following the inside curb. Wait a bit, and then go to power down and exit, and then we do the same for the next left-hander. Good to not go too wide here. Then we got Stavolo, brake just before the curb here as well. Try to focus on the exit, so try to sacrifice the entry a bit. Get the car to the inside, just so we can go early on the power. Don't run too wide on the entry here. Second part of Stavolo will be easy flat. When the tires start to degrade, make sure to be very smooth when you're steering there to avoid getting to the TC. So you got Blanchimont. Blanchimont's easy flat. And then the bus stop, another corner which this car doesn't quite like. We're braking here. Where do we brake? Let God have the wheel. These markers here on the left are very hard to use. You can't really use this marker on the left here. I don't think it's there on the non-VLMS track. Where do you brake? Try to find a marker here on the road, or get used to braking quite a bit after the line. Very tricky to find a good marker here. Again, these markers on the left fence, they're too far to the outside for me. If I'm going here, I cannot look all the way to the left side here, because then I don't know where I'm going. I brake somewhere here. Quite tricky. But as you can see, we are on 100% brake force and we are braking 100%, and there's no lockups to be seen. Cannot stay in 100% braking. This is not ACC, but initially when you apply the brakes, you can go to 100% braking, no problem. Running up to the bus stop, again go to 1st gear to get the car to turn in. Take quite a bit of curb on the right side. Try to set the car up for the exit here, meaning we don't go too tight. 2nd gear for the exit and power it out of the corner. That's a lap in the BMW. The 13.0, I'm not sure, like last week as well, how much rubber they'll use on the server, what the exact conditions are, so the times might vary a bit, but BMW will be a good car, that's all I know. Ferrari will struggle a bit more here because we need a lot of front downforce. The Porsche will drop off a bit more, the C8 will also drop off a bit more, and I haven't tested the Aston much myself, I'm not sure how that car will do, but this car, worth a shot for sure. Again, setup will be available for Twitch subs. I sometimes post some setups there, but nothing's guaranteed. When I've got a setup left over and I want to help you guys out, I'll just post it there, but sometimes there won't be a setup either. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys learned something. I will see you guys maybe next week. Again, there's Virtual Le Mans Saturday. So I will be busy, and then the week afterwards I'll be gone. So maybe before I go, I'll get a track item for next week's video. If I don't, guys soon. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you want more videos like this. And again, good luck in this week's LFM races. Set up on Discord. Next time. Ciao.